All right. Monday morning after the Niners just lost to the Vikings, but we had the Vikings. We had the Vikings +7. We had the Vikings money line. We had the Vikings on a live bet when they were up 10-0, I think. They were only -130 to win the game. Jumped back in there, got it again. And then at halftime, we grabbed Vikings second half +7 again. So we pretty much destroyed with that game. Oh, we also hit Jordan Addison first touchdown. It was a 14-1. Put a quarter on it or whatever. So that was nice. Absolutely destroyed that game. We did lose on the Astros. If the Astros would have won, we'd have won so much more money just because we took a little parlay. But I mean, we killed it last night anyway, so it didn't matter. Just to recap, I didn't get to put a video out yesterday, but we're gonna recap just some of the games over the weekend. Started off with that Colts game. They should have won the game. They obviously got screwed by the refs twice on one drive. The illegal contact, the pass interference was horrible. It was obviously not catchable. The ball bounced and went into the stands. It was obviously not catchable. But the illegal contact before that, where they got a sack fumble, game was over. Phantom flag comes out after the play already happened. And it wasn't illegal contact at all. If anything, Cooper pushed the defender to the ground and then got a call for it. I don't know what was going on, but those refs should be investigated. The NFL should be investigated. Everyone should be investigated. That was obviously they were trying to help the Browns win the game. We won with the spread. We had Colts +3.5. So we hit that. But I also had a round robin parlay with the Colts on their money line, and the only loser would have been the Chargers. I had the Chargers, but that would have been 4 out of 5, and we would have hit. I don't even know what the odds were. We hit the 3-legger, but we didn't hit the 4 because of that game. So we got screwed pretty badly on that. It's pretty annoying. Anyways, move on. Talk about the Bears game. I said this in my last video. I said, look, the Bears are going to win this game. This guy, Tyson Bagent, he's got that it factor to him. He's not scared of the moment. He's just he's out there confident, slinging the ball. He don't care. The Raiders started Hoyer. I get it, your record, I think they were 3-3, but they're trying to get into the playoffs, so I understand the thought process of it. But we know what Hoyer is. He's been in the league for 15 years, and he's been a backup for all of those years, for a reason. So the fact that you started Hoyer and not O'Connell and try to get him some reps, get him, figure out what you got there is kind of. McDaniel's is dumb as it is, but I thought for sure they would have went with O'Connell there, and they didn't. They chose Hoyer. That's fine. We cleaned up. We had the Bears +3, and then we also had the over, and that hit it towards the end. So I said this, in the last video too. I said these totals are so low that you could get, a couple mistakes and the games are going to go over by accident. And we had so many mistakes that the game almost didn't go over because of them. But it still did. They got a garbage touchdown. The Raiders finally scored. And I think it was with O'Connell. When O'Connell came in, they scored. So we hit both of those. Good start to the day. The Ravens game, we had the Ravens on the parlay. We hit the parlay. It was a +637, I believe, the parlay. So 6-1. We had the Cowboys from Monday Night Football. We had the Ravens money line. We had Seattle money line, and then we had the Eagles -1. and they all hit. So we hit that parlay. I'm pretty upset at myself because I wanted the Ravens when they were -2.5, and then at 3 I was like, I don't know if I want to get involved now. And they just absolutely curb stomped Detroit. It wasn't a great spot for Detroit. They had back-to-back road games, and then you're going out facing the Ravens, who are an actual good team, while you've been playing these garbage cans. So it was a huge step up in competition, plus the back-to-back road games, plus the windy conditions. It was just all of the things. The only reason I didn't bet it was just because of the travel for the Ravens. That's one that I'm going to regret right there, but it is what it is. We hit them on the parlay, so I can't complain too much. But yeah, we left some money on the table right there. The Pittsburgh game, Mike Tomlin does it again. I don't know what he does, but we're calling it the Tomlin voodoo. Games that, they pretty much are not in the game at all, and then suddenly something happens. The kicker missed 10 points on his own. He missed 2 field goals, some extra points. I don't know. It was typical Tomlin stuff. We had Pittsburgh +3. They won outright. It's when he's an underdog in this role for some reason, that's what happens. There's not really a whole lot of explanation to it. The Rams were pretty much moving the ball at will in the first half, and they left a lot of points on the table. And when you do that, when you leave those points on the table, it comes back to bite you, because you're not going to be able to just keep driving down the field like that all the time. And we saw that. So the second half, they weren't able to punch the ball in like they were in the first. And TJ Watt made a great play on the ball, made an interception. And that pretty much turned the whole game around right there. And then there was some 2 very questionable flags, or 1 questionable flag, and then a very, very questionable spot on the QB sneak at the end. He was obviously short. Yeah, the Rams should have been getting the ball back with I think it was like a minute 20 or something like that. But yeah, they got screwed. I mean, they should have won the game anyways, but they got screwed right there at the end. But we'll take it. We had Pittsburgh. Yeah. KC and Chargers. I didn't have a bet on this game until the line moved to -6, and then I was like, I have to get in now. We took the Chargers +6, and in the first half, I was completely fine with that. I was like, okay, this is going to be a typical Chiefs-Chargers game. Game is close. It's going to come down to the wire. And then the second half, they just kept doing the same thing over and over, just punting it back to Mahomes. And I was like, this is not going to end well. You keep missing these opportunities, your defense is not going to keep Mahomes, down all day. Eventually, they scored. Now they're down 14, and it was too late to do anything at that point. So, another game where Brandon Staley just terrible. I don't know. They got to change something. They got to do something else, because they're just stuck in the mud. I know Casey's defense is good, but you have to take some different, take some chances, do some different play calling, pass the ball on first down, maybe some more play action. It was a very frustrating game, but whatever. That was our one bad loss of the day. Sunday night game, we had the Eagles. So again, we had the Eagles in a parlay, but we also had them straight. So we won about 8.5 units because of the Eagles. Another game with some very questionable flags and just overall refereeing of the game. The Miami Dolphins had 10 penalties. Eagles had 0. And there was a face mask call on a pass interference that should have been called. It would have gave Miami the ball at like the 10-yard line or something. I still think the Eagles would have won the game, but we would have had a much closer game. There was a lot of bad refereeing this weekend. There should be some punishments and some investigations. It was pretty bad. But we won. Can't complain. We got the W there. Monday Night Football. Niners and Vikings. Niners were laying 7. I said it all week. This is too many points. The Niners were. It's just scheduled losses. So they had to go into Cleveland last week. They got a ton of injuries. Played in sloppy weather, sloppy game. They got screwed by a call. Probably would have won the game had it not been for that bad. Should have been a fumble. But whatever. I said after that, you're playing back-to-back road games. You're going into Minnesota, who, 1 week already without Jefferson. They're kind of figuring out their offense now, and I knew this was going to happen. They're gonna look way more in sync. That first week without your star, it's a little bit more difficult because you just don't have that mesh. And you saw it last night that Kirk and Addison he was just giving the ball up to Addison, trusting him to make plays. He didn't make the first one, but he did make the second one right before halftime. Broke it for a huge touchdown. It was a bad spot for the Niners there, trying to back-to-back games, Monday Night Football on the road. And now next week, they have to go, so they go back home, and they're playing the Bengals, who are off of a bye, and the Niners are off of a short week. So it's another bad scheduling spot for them. I think the line came out -5, which, I still lean to the Bengals on the spread here, but back-to-back losses for the Niners. I expect them to win the game. Excuse me. I expect the Niners to win the game, but like I said, it's another bad scheduling spot. Bengals off of a bye, getting healthier. Niners short week, off of back-to-back road games, going home. The only thing is they've lost 2 in a row, so I'll look into it a little bit more, wait for injuries. We've got to see if Trent Williams is going to play. I don't think Debo will, but they were missing Trent Williams last night. Purdy was making some great plays to avoid sacks. He's a lot faster than I thought he was too. He was breaking some runs. He would see the pressure right away, get out, make the throws, or run for a first down. Obviously, he had a very bad throw to end the game. He's trying to make a play. He's getting killed on social media, and I don't think he deserves it. But he had 2 interceptions. The one to Jennings earlier in the game, it was more of a timing route, and he threw the ball before Jennings was out of his break. But before he broke, he tried to fake left and then go back right, and it just took too long to develop. And like I said, Purdy already threw the ball, so Jennings, wasting the extra time to try to break the defender off, it just made it look even worse. So the ball went right to the defender. Jennings wasn't even there yet. And that's where you kind of miss Debo, because Debo's just going to run that route. Obviously, the chemistry with Jennings isn't quite there yet. So that one I don't think is as bad as everyone is making it seem. He's throwing the ball in a timing route. He hits his back hitch, throws the ball. That's what Purdy does. He doesn't waste the time in the pocket like Derek Carr or anything. He gets to that back hitch and he's launching it. The last one, I get it. He's just trying to make a play. They're down. They only had 30 seconds left or whatever, and they still had to go 40 yards. Or he was trying to make a play downfield. I get So I'm not going to kill him. He was playing his ass off. It's his defense that the defense really let the Niners down last night. The offense was moving the ball. They missed a field goal. Can't blame the quarterback. Like I said, the Niners, I've said this for a long time, when they're behind in games, Shanahan just not the same coach as when they're ahead or playing a positive game state. When they're in negative game state, I can't trust Shanahan. And that's why I like the Vikings second half, because Vikings are able to move the ball, and they're a good offense. They're going to keep up with scoring and whatnot, and the Niners trying to come back is just not something they've had to do, so it's not really in their arsenal. And then just from Shanahan and his history. But anyways, moving on. Today is the start of the NBA season. We have 2 games. There's a bunch more tomorrow, so I'm only going to talk about the 2 today. I'm not going to put any futures in for NBA. I don't really like tying up my money in NBA just because there's so many injuries and just such a long season. I like to kind of get in the second half of the season and then take those teams that are kind of at the bottom, getting hot and whatnot, trying to make it in, make a push. That's when I kind of like to put my futures in. So just talk about the 2 games. We have the Nuggets and Lakers. The Nuggets in the offseason really didn't do anything, and I think that's fine. They lost Brown, but I mean he was a good addition. It's not like he wasn't doing anything or anything like that, but I just don't think they really needed to do much. They were the best team, pretty much by far last season, and won the championship. Don't fix what's not broken. The Lakers, they really needed some depth, and they did add some. I was looking, there's a lot of talk about them during the offseason. They look good on paper, and I'm kind of I get it, but I still don't think this is a great team. I mean, you have LeBron, you have Anthony Davis, that's great, but from that, then you have D'Angelo Russell at the point, or shooting guard, I guess, and then Reeves at the point. But they just don't really have scorers other than that. Their whole bench is just kind of role players. When LeBron goes out, who's gonna take the ball and score points? I don't know. We'll see. This is what happened last year. They didn't really have, Reeves was just kind of going crazy, but they don't really have a guy to just handle the ball, make plays outside of LeBron. Anthony Davis is just made of glass, so we'll see if he can last the whole season. In this game, I'm probably not going to play the spread, but if I did, I would take the Nuggets, but I'll probably just put them in a money line parlay with someone. I think they get the first win of the season here. Warriors and Suns. Warriors are laying 3 now at most places. So the Suns are not going to have Bradley Beal, and Booker has an issue with his toe or whatever, but it seems like he's going to still play the game. The Warriors do not have Draymond Green. It's a tough game. A lot of turnover for Phoenix, and I think it's going to take a little bit more time to gel. When you have all these different acquisitions, it usually takes a few weeks to get right with that team. So I can see the Suns kind of starting off a little cold. I lean the Warriors here. I might play them on the spread. We'll see later in the day, but that would be a game that I would look at as a Warriors -3. Like I said, I think it's going to take a little bit of time. Warriors now with Chris Paul, another guy who can handle the ball, help Curry get He doesn't have to just have the ball all the time. He's very good at getting, off the screen, shooting threes, and I think that's where Chris Paul's going to definitely come into play. Is just getting Curry the ball, getting him open, and relieving some of that stress that, like you saw Curry in the playoffs, he just had to do everything. Had to score, had to dribble, had to just create every play. So now with Chris Paul, he could kind of take that load off of his shoulders. I think you're going to see a pretty crisp Warriors team. Going to see a lot of points with them. I think you're going to just see Curry go crazy. I do like them here. I'll put that in as a play. Warriors -3. There's a play for you guys. Huge card in hockey. They're doing basically every team is playing, and every game starts within 15 minutes. So like 3:30, and then there's a 3:45, and then a 4, and then 4:15, and 4:30. Everything is just like back to back to back. It's pretty crazy. There's a lot to go through. I didn't get to go through all of it yet, but there's 3 games. Ottawa, I like them to win tonight. Senators, I might take them puck line, but I do like them in a money line parlay with the Devils. Money line parlay, Ottawa and New Jersey. The Sabres played yesterday, and also the Canadians played yesterday. So 2 teams off of back to back, and both of them on the road, like Ottawa. Actually, I think New Jersey's on the road, but I like them. I like both of them today. Moneyline parlay that. And then another game I like are Detroit Red Wings. I think it's at -130 right now. I like that one. Take that one. So 2 plays in hockey for you guys right there. And then we have college football tonight as well. We have Louisiana Tech. They were -3 last night against New Mexico State. New Mexico State took some money and dropped to 2.5. I am playing the other side. We're taking La Tech -2.5. Another play for you guys. And then the last game, Liberty is going into Western Kentucky. They're laying 5.5. It came down from last night. It was over 6. I want to say it was 6.5. It's now 5.5. We are taking Western Kentucky at home, and we're taking some money line too. That's an upset. I've been saying this about Liberty. They can run the ball, they can score points, but their defense is not that good, and they should have lost 2 weeks in a row now. I think they lose this game. I like Western Kentucky at home. I think they get this W. There were some very questionable calls last week that helped Liberty win that game. I don't think they deserve to win. I think we're going to see Western Kentucky score points against this defense. It's not going to be an easy one, but I do think they get it done. Western Kentucky at home gets the W. And that's it for Tuesday. We're going to have a huge NBA card. We got our guy M. Bunner in the Discord killing DFS. He's going to have a bunch of DFS next tomorrow, Wednesday. So get in there, get all that DFS. He's also playing some props. We have a lot of stuff going on. Killing NFL. All these sports. There's so much going on right now. Best time of the year. So get in the Discord. You can follow on Twitter. You can go to the link in here. If you go to my page, there's 2 links. Go to the Discord. Get in there. But yeah, good luck to everyone. I'll try to make another one for tomorrow. Hopefully not in the car. I tried to go live today. It won't work. I don't know what's wrong with YouTube. I have all the freaking things needed, but it will not let me go live, so I had to do it this way again. But whatever. It is what it is. Let's go. Keep going.